Nigeria's Senate President Bukola Saraki has described Nigerian workers as the lifeblood and driving force of the nation's development in view of their invaluable contributions. This is the view that drives the celebration of Workers' Day on the 1st of May every year. However, the workers say most of their requests have through the years not been met. So this episode of Channels Beam will focus on the welfare and working condition of Nigerian workers. So you are welcome. I'm Thompson. But before we begin the discussion on workers' welfare, here are the trending topics of the past week. Major topics that generated conversation on Twitter in the past week are the romantic affair between music celebrity Banky W and actress Adesua Etomi. The couple had come public to announce their introduction ceremony for the 6th of May after their secret engagement since February 2017. Twitter is still buzzing after the release of 82 Chibok girls from the captivity of Boko Haram. This is the second set of girls released by the group. Now the discussion begins on Hangout with Michael Obado in Lagos, Nigeria, and Blessing Ejiofor in Georgia, United States of America. We start with Michael. Michael, please share your working experience with us.
Well, the working conditions are okay. We have, because it's a private sector, the CEO is a very passionate person and he's very concerned about his staff's welfare. And over time, we do something like a hangout where he meets all staff on not in a formal setting and an informal setting where everybody is made to say what they are going through, their challenges on the job, and how to move it forward, and how to make their job function better.
Oh, Michael, would you say in all sincerity that you can express yourself to your boss? Can you criticize your management?
Even though I'm in the private sector, you can criticize constructively without having to make your comments rudely or insulting. You can also, your mode of communication matters a lot. Like, you have to tell the management sometimes on how you can do things in a better way, in a very subtle manner, but firm. And he says it, and sometimes we disagree to agree. Sometimes they just say, Mike, this can't work, and I let it go.
Blessing, can you compare your experience in Nigeria with the way it is with you there in the United States?
I must tell you that nowhere is perfect. I mean, America, they have their own ups and downs too here too. They have their cons and they have their pros. Same like in Nigeria. I mean, racism, yes, is there, but back home, I mean, we're all one skin. You see, but there's what we call preferism back home. I mean, I like this one, I don't like that one. I mean, this person is this. I mean, it still shows, despite the fact that we're one color back home. But in America, I mean, it's against the law. Even when you do it, if you do it in the public, it's against the law, and you go down with it. There are laws, and they go by their laws. They go by those rules. Once you do it in the public or you do it openly, and you get caught, also you go down with it. You go down with it. Yeah.
Well, Blessing, we do hear of some not so pleasant cases in the United States, like when decisions are taken with sentiment and consideration to race and things like that.
There is nothing like, I mean, maybe some, because I wouldn't say no in totality, because I think I heard over the news one time about a company that was doing, some of his staff at the time. But I mean, I can say, maybe one in like thousands because it's against the law. Because if I work, I don't get paid. I mean, that company can be sued and they can pay a lot of money in fine, for not paying their workers. So most of the time, companies don't want to go down they don't want their name to go down the drain. So I mean, for everywhere that I've worked and people that are around me that I've worked, I've never heard a situation where they say, oh, I worked X amount of hours and I don't get paid till maybe 2 months later. I've never heard it. I mean, people close to me. But I think I heard it over the news one time, just one time, that it happened. And I think the government shut the company down at the time. The company was shut down, and I don't know what happened thereafter, but the company was shut down.
Okay, but we also learned that over there, it's strictly being paid when you work, mostly hourly. So if an individual falls ill, misses work, there'll be no pay. And this could be even in situations when one can't help it. And these conditions are treated a bit more liberal here in Nigeria.
Here you get paid by hourly, but some still get paid salary depending on your position in the company. Yeah, some still get paid salary. Like back home, everybody is salary based, but here you have to get to a particular level, like the managerial level, then you become based on the salary. They put you on a salary. But if you're not in the managerial level, you get paid hourly.
So if you fall ill, you can't make it to work, you don't get paid, right?
Well, if you're PRN is as needed. If you're full time, you have some benefits. So as a full time employee, you have some benefit cover you for some time. Like if you fall sick, they have sick allowances. That's okay, just an impromptu thing. I mean, you never plan to be sick, but it happens. So they cover you on that. And they have a whole lot of programs too that still cover you. Like for some reason, I mean, here when you're pregnant, they'll give you 2 weeks paycheck. That's what you're entitled to. Then again, depending on your level, depending on what your contribution is in the company. So 2 weeks is what you're entitled to. So after 2 weeks, if you cannot come back to work, there's what they call FMLA. FMLA is you have coverage for 3 months if you want to take 3 months out. I mean, you can have 3 months, but it's going to be without pay. But when you're coming back, your job is still secured. But back home, I even heard now that you can go as long as 6 months and they still pay you when you're maternity leave. It doesn't happen.
Well,
But
thank God at least
but
there's a bit.
some companies still do some kind of a little extension, but majority of the company that I know, I mean, it's just after your 2 weeks, if you can go back to work, you can stay on, but it's gonna be without pay.